Okay, so welcome to Art with Lorien in the studio, plus an interview today. So I'm going to just have a guest coming on in just a moment. Her name is Leonie Dawson. She is a teacher, mentor, inspirer, helping highly sensitive oddballs, just like her, discover their big, glorious dreams, feel less alone, and change the world. She is world renowned for her internationally best-selling Goal Getter Workbooks, which have been helping create the vision and map out the plan for their dream lives for over 10 years now. Leonie has generated over $7 million in revenue, all while working part-time hours, being a hippie weirdo, and spending lots of time enjoying life with her two daughters and husband in the most beautiful parts of Australia. And I'll also be linking all of this in the description box and how you can find her. It's leoniedawson.com. She's also on Instagram. Her handle is Leonie_Dawson, and you can find her on Facebook, Leonie Dawson Author. And I will link everything. I'll basically put this whole description and how to contact her in the description to this video. So she'll be popping on and joining me any moment now. And we're gonna have just a fun interview. So let's see. Yay!
Hi, Lorien.
Hello. Hi. So I'm going to see if we can both be pinned, right?
Perfect.
Pin. There we are.
Awesome. Look, I love your background. It's similar to my background.
Yeah.
The creative people.
That's right. I mean, this is so amazing. Thank you so much. I already did my, intro. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me to do this. I'm so grateful.
Well, thank you for inviting me to invite you. It's reciprocating. Yeah. Awesome. Do we want to keep our names on there?
Oh, either way.
Okay. I like it.
Would you prefer me to do headphones with this?
What do you want it? Whatever you'd like to do. I can hear you.
The audio quality.
All
that seems improved.
Yeah.
Is that any better?
I love it. Either way is excellent. And,
okay, cool.
Clear audio. I'm just kind of used to these, so it's anyway. Here we are.
Perfect.
Well, thank you. I know I have about I have my questions, and so I wanted to basically you don't know me, but I know you through your books. So I just wanted to show you a little bit what I've got going on here. So how I know Leonie is her books, your books. So this is what it looks like. It's a little crazy. And since I already, did your bio and how to contact you, and that's also going to be in the description to this video on YouTube, where it'll be hosted. I can talk a little bit about how I know about you and how
awesome
this came to be. Okay, so I have a really good friend named Kat, and she turned me on to the book. She sent me the business one a few years ago, which is downstairs, but this is because this is the active one right now. And we decided to do this year, starting in January 2020, to do the book together and be accountability partners. Yeah. So I have her to thank and acknowledge, and we are meeting next Tuesday. We meet monthly and go over all of our where are we? November. We're almost done with this book as far as the goals are concerned, but I kind of feel like, so here's October. We're going to go into November, and then yeah. So
That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Please give my love to Kat. It makes my heart so happy. And when you said, well, you don't know me, I'm like, well, of course I know you, because as soon as if somebody resonates with me, I resonate with them, and they're my people. And I see your background and I'm like, oh, that's so scrumptious. Look at who Lorien is.
Yeah, this is so right. So, so I teach art to littles. to keep, I call them minis, and just a little about me based on just to supplement in words kind of what you see around is this is my classroom. I do Zoom, I teach online, but I'm also like an educator, a public school art teacher background. And then now I'm not working in the schools right now in the public schools, a school, but I'm teaching globally through the internet. And I have kids. I taught a class today, and it's so much fun. So this is my stage for my classes. And then
so cool.
I do like, this is a painting, an example of like my fine art. So I'm an artist and art teacher, and okay. Okay. So not only do you and I resonate, but your colors, we share colors. Like I just got the full body chills saying that. I just love your website. I love everything about you. I'm a huge fan, and I'm so excited I get to, meet you virtually, connect with you at this time together. So thank you so much. I will, I'm sure these will come up in our conversation. But this is what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to do the business one with Kat. We're continuing with our accountability check-ins. Sometimes those calls are 3 hours, by the way. I mean,
of course.
That's how, yeah. And we invited a third, so we're going to have a triad, and we know her from when we used to do other like weekly calls. She's lovely. We're all based on the West Coast of the United States. I'm in Los Angeles, Kat's in the Bay Area, and our other friends up in Seattle. And we're going to do, I don't know if what each one's going to do, but we're all going to do our goals. So I'm decided to do business this year in 2021. This year I did life, and this is so exciting. The weekly planner to put it all to,
bring it all together.
I'm so glad you're offering this. And I just saw your email about the 25% off. So super cool.
Black Friday. I've never done Black Friday before, so this is really exciting for me.
So I'm super excited for all the folks to get their books. And I'm just glad mine came really fast, actually.
They're doing really well. I'm very happy.
You said like a month or two, and I was like, okay. So I was on it, and they came so fast. So I was like, so I feel really primed and ready to go. And maybe we can jump into today. The reason why when I got your email, Leonie, to have a chance to have this chat, I just kept thinking about art and money. And it's like, why is it funny about art and money? And even like money as its own thing can, be funny and weird and uncomfortable. And we have like, for me, I know, at least for me, I definitely have some family stuff that I have to kind of like weed out and clear and heal and do some work around. But when it's art and money, and my dad's an artist too, so it's super I've got some work cut out for me this lifetime.
It's ancestral.
And I did listen to what did I listen to? I listened to an interview, and I just happened to hear the thing about your family's farmers. And when you told your dad you were going to be an artist, and he was like grunting, remember that one? And I mean, you know the story because it's your life, right? But there was an interview, and I just happened to hear that, and I was like, wow. And anyway, so you're an artist. I know your art it's many, many things, your art. But that's really what I wanted to, kind of dig in today with you, just like do some archaeology, do some poking around and see if we can help. Of course, I'm sure I'll be receiving lots of beautiful wisdom through our discussion, our chat, but also all the other many artists out there, creatives and creative people and folks who are actually in this new world and the economy that's changing and everything. I think it's just a great time for all those myths to be busted, the starving artist myth. So
the starving artist myth and there's not a huge amount of people that are talking about art and money. They're either talking about art or money, and they seem so separate, but they're really not. And I get that it can be really, really interwoven and difficult for people to work on their money stuff. And especially when we do art, it feels like such a soul calling. It feels like the thing that fills us up. It just feels like such a blessing to even do it in the first place.
Yeah.
And so we think, should I really be charging for this
Right.
thing that I just love doing, and I would do it even if I wasn't being paid?
Yeah.
And
it costs money to live on the planet. I mean, there's that whole thing, right? Which the hippie, it's very much like, oh, just give everything away. And then it's like, you need to have a place to live. I mean, we have to be sensible here, right? So you've managed, you've done it. You've you know, like I would say, like combined art and money into a multi-million-dollar success story.
Yeah. And I've done it kind of on my own terms as well. I didn't want to, like, I tried having a large team to support me. And I hated it. I just hated it because it meant that I wasn't creating. I was just managing staff instead.
Right.
And I've noticed like other like kind of bloggers and people who've been around online for as long as I have, they've gone through stages. And I know some of them have gone the route of kind of building big teams. It's sort of like a Martha Stewart-esque empire where you kind of end up becoming more of a curator and other people are creating instead.
Oh, that's a big thing in like the art world.
Yeah.
Like it's very normal.
Yeah.
You know, workshops and.
Yeah. And for me, it wasn't resonant for me. So I just went back to simplify my business model. I only work about 10 hours a week. I've brought in about $10 million in revenue, and with really high profit margins because first and foremost, my life comes first and my family comes first. I'm very happy to receive money because I can do some really cool shit with that money. We've been able to help build a school in West Ghana. We've been able to build a library through Room to Read in Vietnam. We donate money to the Australian Wildlife Conservancy, which is Australia's largest private landholder, purely for conservation purposes. There's so many cool things that we can do with money.
Yeah, I agree. I love, I love money. It's just as an energy form. And I still feel like I haven't really broken through and, you know, in terms of like creating a sustainable income and a sustainable, income through my art. So I'm still in that process. I'm still like birthing that part of me, I would say for sure, that expression and manifestation of experiencing, you know, I think that level of prosperity that I'd like to be at, a level, not so much just for me, but so that it can spill over and there's that abundance and like what you're talking about, where you're giving from your overflow.
But even if it's just for you, that's okay too. You know, like I think, and when I talk to women, especially, they always like, we so readily want to talk about the work that we do for others, but it's okay just to look after yourself beautifully and look after your family beautifully as well.
True. Yeah, true.
And it's also like, it's very hard to eat organic and make ethical purchasing decisions when you've got no fucking money.
I agree. And that's me. I mean, I could blab on about that for sure. I mean, I'm sure definitely like, simple, but definitely. I mean, high respectable value.
Yeah. And even like I love that we can do ethical investing as well. We moved all of our retirement funds over into ethical super funds, which is what they're called here in Australia. And they're places that are investing in sustainable, like green energy futures for the world.
I think they're called mutual funds in the States.
Oh yeah, right.
I think yeah.
And like it just feels glorious. Like it felt so scrumptious to be able to do that and to know that, you know, I can really beautifully take care of my family and I can do some amazing stuff for the future as well.
Yeah, no, and that is your blogs, your podcasts. You have what really interests me, and then I'll get to my questions. In the time. So we'll get there. Okay. It's how deep your like the rabbit hole of Leonie Dawson's website goes. I mean, I was like, should I do a lot of prep? And I thought if I just like hung out and I could have been prepping for months and just not gotten to the bottom of your website. I mean, It it is a deep website. There's a lot of content. You produce like really prolifically.
Well,
You're like a super creator, but okay, over time, I guess, right?
Yeah, I've been blogging since 2004. So it's 16 years now of regular blogging.
But the key is regular, and it's, the cumulative effect is awesome. It's just, I mean, pretty much everything you just said, I've read pieces. Oh, that was that newsletter. Oh, because I'm on your newsletter list, and I try to keep up with what you're doing, and it's all accessible. So for the folks who are watching this video, definitely go into Leonie's website, because she goes into depth about all the points that you just said, like the investing, ethical investing, everything. It's like you kind of did a bullet journal of, there's like podcasts, and there's mom commuting with the school drop off thing. I mean, there's so much. It's just like, I love it. And the reading. So whether you like to listen or to read. Okay. So anyway, I just want to say that I knew this was going to be a very rich and deep chat. So I know that it might be a lot for folks to digest, and there's a place to go to really like get into your multiverse of wisdom, and there's so many layers. Okay, so I prepared a few questions. Can we jump in on those?
Let's dive.
I mean, we've kind of talked about it already, so maybe if it's redundant, just do your own thing. But I did want to know, so my first question is, how does an artist break through the starving artist myth? And then how did you do it? So
well, just I realized, like, it is a myth. Right. Like, just like dragons are a myth. Right. Do you see fucking dragons in the sky? Like, so mythological creatures mean that they're not real. So the starving artist,
I don't even know where it came from, but Van Gogh, like, he is a perfect, and it's like, where did that myth even generate? Anyway, it kind of lurks.
Yeah, it does. And, I got told when I was a kid, my parents were like, okay, so you can't be creative because all artists are starving. There's no money in the arts. Right. And you can't have a business because all businesses fail in the first 5 years. And you shouldn't earn over $75,000 a year, because then you're paying too much tax and it's not worth it.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah.
That's so great. Like, that, those are the big 3 money lessons. And I do think it's really funny that
they're not true. They don't hold any weight. They're almost lies that we're told. They're passed on, like you said, ancestral. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. And I was like, well, look, I'll try. And so I tried not doing a business. I tried not doing.
You worked, Parliament. I was listening to that again a little bit today. You've done a lot of like day jobs, so to speak.
Yeah, I worked government jobs for years. I worked in the Parliament House. It was amazing and fascinating, but it still wasn't what I wanted to do. And so I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to be an artist, and and in order to do that, I need to own a business. And so that was kind of when I came out to my dad. I'm like, I actually am going to be an artist. And he sort of just grunted at me. He said, there's no money in that. And I said,
what does he say now though? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he said, and I said, well, you're a farmer, and your family has always been farmers, and there's no money in farming. We know that. So I guess I just come from a long line of dreamers. Yeah. And you think you're funny, don't you? And I say, yeah, I do. I do really think I'm funny.
But you are funny.
Yeah. And now, so like, I didn't wait for anybody else to tell me it was possible. I didn't wait for anybody else to give me permission. Like, I'd still be waiting. And instead I just did it and kept on exploring and playing to work out what business model worked, how I could earn money, what felt like a beautiful creative fit for me. And, my dad is ridiculously proud now. He's, just thinks what I've created is amazing. And he doesn't understand how I've come through him. He's like, really, I don't get how you've managed to make that, but I'm so proud of you. And he'll have a little cry, and it's a beautiful thing.
And I mean, your art, so I did see at one point, I don't know where this was again, like when I look in your website and I'm in there, I don't remember where these things are, but I have like visual memory sort of, I like snapshots. And I saw you at an art booth, doing the art booth thing, which I've done. I mean, I can relate to what you're saying. Like you just try, and people, if you ask, people, or people tell you, actually a lot of people have offered me advice. Oh, you should do this, and it's like, I tried a lot. I've tried many things, and I do a lot of things right now. But I do remember you at an art booth with your art, like your paintings and the prints and the giclées and the cards and the products, and then that, you don't do that now. It kind of morphed into where like your books, it's all the art is in the book. I mean, this is your art. The books and the courses, like your art form, its expression morphed. Was that?
Yeah. Well,
but not overnight. It's never overnight. It looks overnight, but like when.
Well, it's always been like that though. So like for me, it's not like art and being creative to me isn't just I make a painting. It's like I make books and I want to make words with art, and I just want to express myself in all different ways.
Yeah, because you do you do video. Yeah. Like your art is your whole everything.
Yeah, it feels groovy. It feels great. And I still do, I still make artworks all the time. I'm now a little bit do more digital art and portraits, and some of those are just personal. Some of those. Yeah.
I heard that. I listened to that podcast.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah, but these are all your drawings, right?
Yeah.
Like this is you. So your art is in your books and everything you do. It's in everything you do. It's like there's no separation. Okay.
No. And I've always been bossy as shit. So like the courses were a beautiful kind of expression of that as well, because people always wanted to know, but how do you do this? How do you write a book? How do you create a program? How do you like manage your money? And so like I want to do it in fun and creative ways. So I teach about that. And it's fun. And I tried so many different things. I did markets, I sold on Etsy, I did custom commission artwork, and it was all really fun. And then I did retreats, I did coaching, I did just anything I felt called to doing, I would do, and I would just test and try it out. And it sort of morphed into this particular business model because it was a little bit more baby proof to be able to do like books and courses, because I didn't have as much time.
Yeah, what do you mean? Oh, baby proof in your house.
Well, no,
real
more
babies.
Just like
your babies.
When babies come into your life, you don't really get as much time to sit and paint and stuff like that. Without babies like knocking over all the shit.
Got it. Oh, interesting. That's really interesting. So it all kind of happened like together. Was that the breakthrough, or no? There's not just one breakthrough.
There's never one breakthrough. It's just playing and seeing what works again and again and again. Experimenting and playing. It's all been really fun and all been really useful.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like it is about the journey, it's not even the product. Like when I teach my students, it's I mean, we're doing art classes and they make beautiful things, and I always have a sample art after, which, they're stacking up because I start from scratch and I teach step by step. But it's always about us being together, making art together, talking, chat, it's fun. It's about the process and the product is there as more of a byproduct. And even when I was teaching in the schools where you have to get grades and, it's very different than what I'm doing now. If they can show up and and follow it's like you can't really fail unless you completely don't participate, because obviously you don't give a grade based on talent. It's on many, many factors. But it's really the creative process is kind of coming up. I'm thinking about that's probably a really big part of your like day-to-day, like your daily life, the creative process.
Well, I figured like if I have a life first, then it's just easy to create from there. Like if I was just going to sit at a desk every day and going, right, create now, there's not going to be much that happens there, but I do need to like go out and have a bloody life and, be a mom and be a wife and go out into the world and have human experiences and then translate that into whatever creation I want to create.
Right.
And being kind of committed to doing it, and also just giving myself shorter work periods. Like when people are like, how do you, work so little and produce so much? Well, just reduce your work hours and you'll get really clear about what's important. And you'll also
Right.
stop fucking around on Pinterest and like
Right.
looking for more inspiration. No, just go make something and then go live a fucking life.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Even though I love Pinterest.
Oh, Pinterest is great,
but not
it's not creating. It is not creating.
Absolutely not. And I'm like, one other thing, and I'm looking at the clock, so I know I've got 3 more questions, so I don't want to go on and on, but about this little tangent, but I have to just say one thing, that I find that, browsing, and you talk about this in the podcast, it doesn't work for me as a creator to look laterally. It's a massive source of sabotage, and I've really learned that. And it's like, to hear you say it was like, oh, it's exactly how I feel. And that's another whole conversation for another time. But the marketing and outsourcing and getting some help and, scheduling and, doing all that social media stuff. It's like, okay. So that's a whole nother thing, because the creator, you have to protect your space, I think, as creators,
you really do.
Our inner world. Yeah.
Yep. Stop the endless scroll. It gets you nowhere. You're not going to get inspired. You're just going to get demotivated.
Yeah. No, the comparison game doesn't work. I never feel better. I always, I get out, I'm out. I post, I'm out. I'm just like, can't hang. Okay. And I'm grateful it's there. It's just, I've had to really, okay, I'm going to get to the question. I've had to behavior modify for my own good and for my art's good. I feel like it's my baby. I have to really protect my time and space so the art can actually be born and created and get out in the world. So it's kind of, it's like an act of love to,
It is.
Self-care on that note too. Okay. So I might see what methods, is there any method or technique that you've used to shift any old beliefs or beliefs like that were adopted, when you around art and money, art meaning your creativity, I guess, and your art form of your work.
I think Julia Cameron and The Artist's Way is a seminal book, and I think it's really useful to do and to regard it as a practice. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert is phenomenal. Treating it, and she talks about having a day job to support yourself as you play and explore with your creativity. And I think that's brilliant.
That's, yes.
And Get Rich, Lucky Bitch by Denise Duffield Thomas, who's a friend of mine, but she is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to like letting go of money blocks and stepping into a different money future for yourself. And then I also go into a bunch of stuff in my course, Money, Manifesting and Multiple Streams of Income, where you can see exactly how I've built out my income streams, how they work, and how I've got my money sorted. Because I used to be really crap with money. And it was something I had to learn and practice for myself again and again.
Right. No, that's really good. No, I agree. Julia Cameron, I've got my stories with that book very much so. It's been amazing. Okay, so that's like almost 2 questions right there. And then I guess the last one, because I think we've covered a lot already. So, and you kind of just said that. What are your top helpful tips or wisdom for all of the artists who are looking to break through and create a sustainable income with, through their art practice or what their thing is? And maybe you said that you talked about your money course. What else?
Well, I think, first and foremost,
obviously the books, I think. Too.
Setting really good goals, being mindful about what's actually going to work for you and how you want to create, and playing around with different business models and structures, because there's so many different ways out there, and there's so many ways to create amazing dollars online, and I'm so grateful for those options. And it's funny, we are talking in pandemic times, and for me, the pandemic hasn't affected me whatsoever. It's been per usual. And my husband said to me, it's kind of like you've been pandemic proofing your business all along.
Well, you've been internet you've been internet-based business. You've been an internet, a web-based business, e-courses, books, live.
Blogging.
I mean, I know, I mean, podcast, right? So you're.
Yeah, I like that it's forcing people to start using the online tools that we've got available to us, because they are so hugely powerful and such an incredible way to create abundance in the world. And the very fact that we now get to have a global market very, very easily is just incredible and exceptional. And I think we should be using the most out of it.
Yeah, I love that too. No, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's just really amazing. It's interesting seeing how things are unfolding, and yes, your work is so incredible. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you,
I have a couple e-courses, like dreaming e-courses that I'm like, when should I do those? And I mean, obviously the answer is do them ASAP now, but like when I got your email today about your Black Friday sale, I thought, oh, maybe I should get those too. But I need to just be focused, so maybe I'll just do one at a time. And are they, when you get them, they don't expire?
No, they're lifetime, and you get access to all future live rounds, everything. And honestly, only do those courses if you want more money. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like money, don't do the courses. But if you like to actually like be productive, make shit happen and make more money, like, sure, definitely do them. Like, it's pretty clear.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing, it's, money's just energy. It's a form of prosperity and abundance, right? So, okay. Well, I have to say one more thing about these books before we say goodbye. I love the paper. It's very silky. It's very silky, and I'm a big fan of open, double wide spread. Like an art journal. So this spiral bound. I know you had to
worked hard on finding those options, but we got there in the end.
But the first thing I told my friend Kat when I said, oh, I got mine, and she's like, oh, mine are probably at the P.O. box. And I was like, they're so soft and creamy. Because I'm a big texture, like fabrics, artist. So everything is about like, how does it feel? What's the, and I just was like, oh, and, because I'm going to be using this every day. I mean, we use these every day. It's like part of my life, very much in a very, visceral, tangible, amazing way. So I'm so grateful for your art in the world, all of that you've given everybody, and you continue to give so freely. I mean, your podcast and everything, they're just all like wonderful labors of, not about labors, but love, expressions of love. So thank you
Lorien.
Much for
Bless you beautiful human.
Thank you for being you and for spending this time with me. And I will put all the ways that folks can find you. It'll be in the description of this video. And is there anything else you want to share or say before we sign off and say
we were all put on this planet just to make things and create and share them with the world.
Yeah, I agree.
So don't give up that divine destiny and keep doing it, because it will heal you through and through over and over as you do it.
I love that. It's a perfect note to end on. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorien.
Thank you so
Bless
much.
you, beautiful
You
human.
too. Bless you, and thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye for now.